Adesso abbiamo TimL che ci parlerà di 3 argomenti. Il primo è il fondamentale degli interni, poi ci parlerà del feeling di un coach di minors che dopo 29 anni è riuscito ad arrivare in Major League come coach in first base e quindi ci darà questo feeling, no? di questa crescita. E poi ci parlerà di coaching in third base e first base per i suggenitori di prima e terza. Quindi ecco a voi TimL.
I'm debating whether or not to give you guys really good information or not because I figure if I give you guys bad information on how to field ground balls, then we stand a better chance of beating you guys in the World Baseball Classic.
Perfect. Too late.
Okay, so what we want to talk about today, we want to talk about fielding the routine ground ball.
Allora, quello di cui parliamo oggi è prendere le palle in difesa. Non si sente. Non si sente? Non si sente. Si sente.
Se è anziano non sente.
Ok, presa delle palle a terra in difesa.
So fielding the routine ground ball is probably the very thing we take the least amount of time to make sure that it's done correctly.
E anche se la cosa più importante è probabilmente quella che ci prende meno tempo per imparare a farlo correttamente.
So it's the same whether it's in the big leagues, because I witnessed it last year in Toronto where we thought players were bad fielders, but they were actually players that were good fielders that did not have proper technique.
Sì, anche noi nel Toronto abbiamo riscontrato che certi difensori che sembrano non bravi difensori in realtà non hanno avuto un buon allenamento.
So what I hope to show you today is some simple fundamentals that can get your players ready to be ready for the game and to make them more consistent, better fielders by being in good fundamental positions.
E quello che vogliamo fare ora è appunto far vedere alcuni esercizi e suggerimenti per diventare un migliore difensore.
And I want to be able to tell you why we do it, and I want to be able to tell you how we do it.
E vogliamo far vedere perché lo facciamo e come.
Okay. The one thing right here, we talk about this. We want to do ordinary things extraordinarily well, which means you just want to do simple things correctly every single time.
Sì, come dice qui la scritta, vogliamo fare cose ordinarie fatte straordinariamente bene, cioè cose semplici fatte bene.
When I thought about doing this, I thought about what I thought the most if you could take 3 things away from this lecture, these are the 3 things that I thought we should talk about.
Ecco, se dobbiamo portare a casa solo 3 cose da questa discussione, vogliamo che siano queste.
So basically is to get started on time every time.
Iniziare sempre in tempo, ogni volta.
Which means all the fielder has to do is get a rhythm and get started every single time before a pitch. And I'll go into that in a minute.
Quindi ad ogni lancio il giocatore all'interno, l'esterno deve essere sempre pronto.
The next thing is to get players to play wider, to get wider with their feet.
L'altra cosa importante è che la posizione deve essere molto aperta.
And the very most important thing for me is to be able to throw the ball correctly.
E l'altra cosa molto importante è tirare la palla correttamente.
I took over the Miami Marlins infield instruction for the whole minor leagues a couple years ago.
Lui ha preso diciamo, l'insegnamento dai Miami Mariners per applicarlo alle leghe minori.
So I had all these great ideas that all these players were going to be great and I didn't need to teach them very much.
E quindi l'idea era di far vedere ai ragazzi degli esempi fantastici, così non dovevo insegnare loro molto.
So the very first day I got out there, we hit ground balls to them, and we were going to do simple things. Just hit the ground balls and throw the ball to first base.
Quindi le cose il primo giorno era appunto solo tirare palle, semplicemente tirarle, farle prendere e tirare.
So I had a bunch of 20 to 26-year-olds who could not throw the ball to first base correctly. So this is why I want to spend a lot of time on how we teach to throw and throw the ball correctly. Because if we can't catch the ball and throw the ball to first base, then we're going to be in a heck of a lot of trouble.
Quindi il maggior tempo lui lo spende, diciamo, insegnando ai 20-25 anni che non sanno prendere la palla a tirare bene la palla.
Okay, so we wanted to come up with a way to teach our fielders the sequence of having to field ground balls fundamentally.
E questa è la sequenza che vogliamo insegnare ai nostri difensori.
So we came up in English, an easy way to remember, we call it the 6 F's.
In inglese è facile da ricordare, le 6 F.
The problem is in Italian this doesn't translate very well. You can't remember this stuff. So go to the next one.
Should I read?
Yeah, please.
Ok, feet, piedi, ovviamente field, il campo, funnel sarebbe l'imbuto di quando si riceve la palla, footwork, il lavoro di piedi, fire, sparare la palla e follow, il follow up, cioè seguire la palla che si è tirata.
Aspetta a cambiare.
You go to the next one. See, now I got it in Italian. This is what I got. So your goal, what I need from you guys is in Italian to come up with some simple stuff for me here. One letter, get it all done so you guys can learn some stuff. 2 F's, 1 C, 1 I, a P, and an S, not going to do it. You guys are going to remember that.
Una C, 2 F, una C, una I, una P e una S. Non è la stessa cosa.
I hope that's right. You can go to the next.
Comunque quello che ho detto prima.
Okay, so let's talk about the sequence of fielding ground balls.
Ok, la sequenza inizia con i piedi. Iniziamo.
The first thing we talk about is the feet. And what I mean by the feet is we need to get started every single time. We need to have a pre-pitch rhythm and we need to have our feet moving every time a pitch is thrown.
Quindi noi abbiamo bisogno di stare in posizione ogni volta che viene lanciata una palla e dobbiamo essere pronti nella nostra posizione.
One thing with infield play is especially even in professional baseball, and I'm at the highest level, we tend to want to go out and just hit guys ground balls and think they're going to be good at everything and we don't have to teach them anything. But that's not the case.
Noi abbiamo la tendenza appunto di andare fuori nell'allenamento e cominciare a sparare palle ai nostri giocatori, ma non è il caso.
So I want you guys to think about infield play is like hitting. Because when you go to hit every day, you go to the batting cage and you go and you do soft toss and you keep things slow and then you build your way up to batting practice. Is that pretty much correct?
Quello che facciamo con i battitori, per esempio, è cominciare gradatamente, prima con dei lanci morbidi per poi aumentare il ritmo. Giusto?
So what I say, when the feet is on time every time, creates rhythm and it creates timing for a fielder. It's just like a hitter. A hitter has a load and he creates timing for himself by moving his body and getting ready for a pitch. An infielder creates timing for himself by getting his feet moving and getting ready to hit the baseball. Getting ready to catch the baseball.
Come creiamo per il battitore il ritmo e il timing, così deve essere per i nostri interni, nella loro posizione, creare il ritmo e il timing.
This needs to be stressed every time. You go to the next one. The technique for this, it needs to be stressed every time. Every time you have a fielder catch a fungo or take a ball live off a bat, it's important that he has a start.
È importante che ogni giocatore abbia un inizio.
Okay, so what's the technique for getting started? Everybody is a little bit different.
E qual è la tecnica per iniziare? Ognuno è diverso.
But the most important thing is each player gets started, gets some separation in his feet while the pitch is being delivered, and his feet are down on the ground, and he's in an athletic position right before the ball is being made contact with.
E la cosa importante è che il giocatore sia in quella posizione sui piedi prima che il lancio faccia contatto.
So if you need a certain technique how to teach players, one thing is to have a guy here. I like to go here, left foot forward about shoulder width.
Allora, la posizione per il difensore destro è appunto avere il piede sinistro un po' avanti e i piedi a larghezza delle spalle.
So left foot forward, a little bend in the waist,
Un po' piegato
and then a little slight separation in the feet so you're down.
e una bella separazione dei piedi a livello delle spalle.
And it's important that this happens every single time.
Ed è importante che succeda ogni volta.
If you can get players to start doing this when they're 8 years old, you're halfway there to making them very good fielders. Because if a fielder waits till the ball is being hit, and then he goes here, and then he reacts, his timing is going to be way off.
E quindi è importante iniziare già da 8 anni. Se possiamo iniziare già da 8 anni questa procedura, abbiamo dei buoni giocatori.
So if you're here, you bend at the waist, you separate feet, and you're down when the ball is getting hit, you're going to be in a much better position to read the baseball, to get good hops, and ultimately all we want to do is when the ball is hit to us, all we got to do is catch the ball. If we catch the ball, we're halfway there.
Quindi non dobbiamo tollerare che i nostri difensori aspettino la palla in piedi, ma è sempre in posizione pronta, perché sarà più facile prendere qualsiasi palla alla partita.
For older, who has older kids? 16, 17, 18-year-olds.
Chi è che insegna ai 16, 17, 18?
Okay, we got to know what is the timing. When do we separate our feet? How do we know they're going to be down when the ball is in the hitting zone, when the ball is about to be hit?
Dobbiamo sapere quando devono prepararsi a prendere la posizione.
And a good rule of thumb is for the player is to think about separating his feet when the pitcher is right about here in his delivery. He's about to let go of the ball. That's, as a fielder, if you start separating your feet about that time, that's going to put you down approximately the right amount of time when the ball is in the hitting zone.
Ecco, una buona regola è che quando il lanciatore ha la palla in alto, con il braccio in alto, si prende la posizione corretta separando i piedi e piegandoci come avevo detto prima.
Any questions on that?
Domande?
Okay, you go to the next. Separation, we just talked about the ball in the hitting zone. That's the most important thing. There and down.
La separazione dei piedi. I piedi devono essere giù e pronti quando la palla è nella zona di battuta.
Again, make them do it. Every time you roll them a ground ball, every time you hit them a ground ball, every time they're in the field, work on them getting ready to field a ground ball. Get them in position. Create rhythm and timing for them every single time.
Ancora si stressa il fatto che ogni allenamento, ogni lancio, ogni allenamento appunto devono essere pronti nella posizione giusta.
I fight this every single day in professional baseball, single A, double A, triple A, major leagues. When players do not do this, they're already in trouble. It doesn't mean they're not going to be good. They're still going to be okay, but they're not going to be as consistent as they can be. Please, if you guys want to do something good for your players, make sure they do this every time.
Se volete fare qualcosa di buono per i vostri giocatori, fategli fare ogni volta, anche lui in tutti i livelli di lega, sia minore che major, ogni volta lui deve dirlo. Non sarà che saranno giocatori peggiori, però è importante che imparino questo.
I like it. I'm going to just stay on this for one more time. You think about it, for me, one of the hardest things in sports to do is to return a tennis serve.
Se pensate che una cosa delle più difficili da fare è colpire una palla servita a tennis.
The ball's coming at 100 miles an hour, 130 kilometers. They have to decide whether to go this way, and then return it in fair territory and going back the other way.
Sì, il giocatore di tennis deve aspettare la palla e essere sempre pronto allo sprint in qualsiasi direzione, perché arriva la palla a 130 km all'ora e deve rispondere correttamente e rilanciarla in campo buono.
So if you watch the tennis players, I was watching a match today, when the guy gets here and he serves, he's about to hit the ball, you see them, bam, they go down like that. And that's, if they can do it in tennis, it's absolutely going to work in baseball.
E lo fanno infatti nel tennis, quando si vede che si preparano per il servizio, il giocatore avversario si prepara in posizione, assolutamente. Quindi se è buono per il tennis, assolutamente anche per il baseball.
Because me and Ron were the only guys that could hit a baseball 100 miles an hour, and we're retired now.
E lui e Ron sono gli unici a tirare a 100 miglia all'ora.
Yeah. You can go to the next. Let me go one more. Okay, this is example. Hey, I'm trying to like earn your favor right here by putting Alex up here. I want you guys to like me. So, but this is where he is when he gets in a ready position. Alex, and you guys all obviously know Alex. He's a really good fielder. Look at the position he is when his feet are down and he's ready to go.
E guardiamo la nostra posizione. Sto cercando di rendermi simpatico mettendo Alex lì nelle slide.
He's down and getting ready. That's where his feet are. Look, one other thing too. Look where the weight is on his feet. He's on the balls of his feet.
Come vediamo è sulla parte davanti del piede, una buona posizione.
Michael, different bodies, different types. Look how his setup is.
Questo è un altro, vedi un'altra posizione.
He's a little bit wider, the corner a little bit wider.
Un po' più largo, un po' più basso.
I put this up here because the last thing about getting ready, and I'll move on here. Well, one thing when we get ready, when I teach my fielders is I draw a pizza sliced up in pieces in the dirt.
Ecco, lui appunto fa con i suoi giocatori il disegno di una pizza intorno a loro, con le fette già segnate.
So when your players get ready, boom, the ball's hit. They're going to have to go each one of these directions. So if the ball is hit hard to the right, they get ready, the ball's hit hard to the right, they're going to need to drop step back.
Quindi devono essere sempre pronti ad andare in ognuna di queste direzioni quando la palla è colpita.
If it's hit hard left, they're going to beat it down, and they're going to have to be able to go back here.
Colpita a destra, girano verso destra, a sinistra verso sinistra.
If it's hit slow, boom, they're going to have to go this direction.
Se è lenta, verso posizione avanzata.
So it's important when they're ready and their feet are down that they're balanced enough to cover all these angles. They're going to have to go very quickly to these angles and make a good read on the baseball.
Quindi è importante che nella loro posizione siano in equilibrio da poter muovere i piedi velocemente in tutte queste direzioni.
Okay. Any questions on getting ready?
Domande sulla preparazione?
Did I stress to you enough how important this is?
Sono stato abbastanza incisivo su quanto importante è la preparazione.
Okay. Next thing is fielding the ball. And if you go back to my original thoughts, how you need the players to get wider. When you field the ball, you're going to see by these pictures, it's amazing how wide as a player you need to be able to field the ball consistently and correctly. It's important to see how wide they are to field the ball consistently and correctly.
È importante vedere quanto distanziati i piedi sono per poter prendere la palla in difesa.
Okay. One thing we talk about with the route to the ball. Sometimes the route to the ball is the one thing that causes a lot of arguments between coaches.
Sì, come il tragitto della palla è diciamo occasione di conflitto per vari allenatori.
Okay. If you're a shortstop and the ball is hit to you, I'm going to say home plate is here, I'm the shortstop. When that ground ball is the hardest play in baseball is a routine ground ball, a medium speed ground ball about one step to your right.
La palla più difficile è la palla battuta un piede alla destra. Parliamo di posizione di shortstop, di interbase.
So a lot of times what I see with young players, and a lot of times coaches and a lot of younger players we get, they're taught to go outside the ball and create an angle to throw to first base.
Sì, tanti giocatori giovani viene insegnato di andare all'esterno a prendere la palla.
So what that does, when you work too far outside the baseball, is what happens is you get ready, the ball is hit in this direction, and I start working around the ball like this. I've taken 2 steps this direction, now the ball is way outside my left shoulder.
Se io mi metto in questa posizione come shortstop, la palla arriva da questa parte, io faccio 2 passi verso destra, la palla viene troppo esterna.
So I've taken 2 steps this way, And now I'm going to go attack the ball this way because I want to throw over there.
E quindi adesso attacco la palla perché voglio tirarla là.
So now I'm going to go 3, 4, 5 to get to the baseball.
Quindi sto facendo 5 passi per arrivare al contatto con la palla.
And what you find when you do that is you're catching the ball very deep on the infield dirt, towards the outfield.
E quindi stai cercando di prendere la palla molto in profondità sul diamante.
So if you think about taking the left hip to the outside part of the baseball, remember when I created that angle, I just took 6 steps to get there, and I fielded the ball very deep on the infield.
Quindi prima ho fatto troppi passi e quindi dovrei prendere un angolo più diretto.
So if I think about taking the left hip there, I'm going to be ready, boom, 1, 2, 3.
Parto con la gamba sinistra e faccio solo 3 passi in angolo verso la palla.
So everything we want to do with infield is we want to create less steps, we want to create less movement because we have less chance for error.
Quello che vogliamo fare è creare sempre meno distanza, meno passi in modo da raggiungere la palla in minor tempo.
And so by taking your left hip directly to the outside part of the ball, you're going to eliminate 3 steps on a routine ground ball for sure.
Quindi portando il piede sinistro verso l'esterno della palla che arriva, elimino già dei passi che dovevo fare altrimenti.
Okay. And for left-handers, it's the opposite. You want to take the right hip. You want to take the right hip to the outside part of the baseball.
Per i mancini è l'opposto, devo partire col piede destro.
But we don't care about left-handers because they're mostly in the outfield.
Di solito i mancini
Sorry,
sono
you
fuori
left-handers.
all'esterno, quindi non ci interessa più di tanto.
Okay, glove position, out front and open. They give us this glove here. Use it. A lot of times with fielders, like we want to get the ball here, and we only use this amount of surface area of the glove. You got this whole area of leather out here. Get it out in front, not to where you're locked out, but out in front, and have the whole surface area of the glove presented to the baseball. It gives you a lot more room to be able to catch the ball.
Sì, in definitiva ci danno un guanto per usarlo, quindi non usiamo solo una parte, ma cerchiamo di usarla tutta.
And the other thing is try to catch underneath the baseball. We want to talk about funnel, and we'll talk about the funnel in a minute. But at the same time, you want to make sure the glove is down, and you want to try to get underneath the baseball so you can get into the middle.
E cerchiamo di prendere la palla dal basso, quindi non abbiamo paura di abbassare il guanto più possibile.
Okay, you can go ahead. Does that surprise you how wide he is? Does anybody?
Qualcuno sorpreso della distanza di quanta larghezza hanno i piedi di questo giocatore?
Anybody? That's surprising to me. I mean, but that's Derek Jeter. I think he's good.
Penso sia buono.
Let's go to the next. David Eckstein, a little guy. He's a smaller guy. It's a little easier for him to be lower to the ground. But again, look where his eyes are. Look how open his glove is. And look at he's trying to work underneath the baseball.
Lui è un giocatore più piccolino, diciamo, di dimensione, comunque la posizione è più chiusa, però il guanto è sempre basso, gli occhi guardano la palla come gli altri.
Chase Utley, wide feet. Look at the position. The arms are bent. They're not straight. He's out in front, but he's out in front because his feet are wide.
Quindi questo giocatore ha le braccia non completamente tese, un po' piegate, però sempre la posizione ampia e aperta.
Freddie Sanchez, any Giant fans? Same thing, look at the glove position, look how wide his feet are.
Guardiamo la posizione dei piedi e anche del guanto.
I don't know this guy, Red Sox. I don't like the Red Sox.
Non so chi è questo giocatore di Red Sox.
Go ahead. There's Alex again. Again, I'm trying to butter you guys up.
Questo è il nostro Alex.
See his glove position wide open?
Vediamo il guanto, bello aperto.
Okay. Scott Rowland, big guy, third baseman, very big body, kind of tight in here, but look how wide he is. He's a very big man, but look how wide his feet are.
È un grande personaggio, è un grande fisico, però comunque vediamo sempre aperta la posizione.
Kevin Youkilis, again, the Red Sox, we don't like them?
Ci piace.
Okay, next. You can slide through. Toronto, we like them.
A noi piace questo.
Okay, now this is what happens when you get narrow. We talk about the wide base and being able to catch the ball wide. when your feet are narrow, go ahead.
Quando i piedi sono stretti,
When your feet are too narrow, the glove kind of falls down. Even if you try to catch it out front, the glove falls down really deep inside your legs here.
in quanto cade troppo basso e troppo indietro fra le nostre gambe, quando sono stretti.
And what happens is if that ball takes a bad hop and you're too narrow, you create a blind spot for yourself from about maybe 8 to 12 inches where you don't know what the ball is doing.
E quindi può esserci un rimbalzo pazzo e noi creiamo una zona d'ombra, per cui perdiamo contatto visivo con la palla.
And just to say what Daryl said, you can't catch or you can't hit what you can't see. So if your feet are narrow, you're not going to be able to see the ball hit into your glove.
E quindi non possiamo prendere una palla se non riusciamo a vederla.
And the way you want to get out in front properly is just by making sure that on the routine ground ball, your feet are wide enough, and if you just let your hands fall out in front with your glove in a good position, you're going to be able to see that ball hit into your glove.
Quindi se teniamo i piedi aperti, distanziati bene, riusciamo a vedere bene la palla quando entra nel guanto.
Okay, again, narrow feet, look where his glove is, and position his body is right behind him.
Quindi vediamo i piedi sono stretti e la palla è passata.
Let's hope they do that against the Blue Jays a lot this year.
Speriamo lo facciano contro i Blue Jays.
Next. Same thing right there. Narrow feet, ball in the outfield.
Piedi, palla passata.
Coaches are mad.
Gli allenatori erano arrabbiati.
Okay, the same thing now. It doesn't matter if we're catching the ball. A routine ball wide is here. A routine backhand, the feet are going to be the same width. Okay, and you're going to be out here. And the same thing is with the forehand. Your feet are going to be at the same width, and you're going to be out here. So as many ground balls, routine ground balls, we can catch with our feet wide. We have to make sure we get there.
Lo stesso vale per la presa in backhand e la presa davanti. Comunque la distanza dei piedi non cambia, magari cambia l'angolo di posizione ma non la distanza dei piedi.
This is with the routine backhand.
Questa è la palla di routine.
If you have a routine backhand, what you want to do is take your right foot out to the baseball and stop it right there.
Quello che volete fare è prendere il piede praticamente e farlo incontrare con la palla.
So if you set up with your shoulders already squared to first base, take your right foot to the baseball and you stay wide, all you got to do is pick the baseball up, get it to the middle, replace your feet, and you're already in line with your target to first base.
Quindi le spalle sono dirette verso la prima base, siamo in posizione di interbase. E il piede va a raggiungere la traiettoria della palla e noi siamo pronti per il tiro verso la prima base.
Yeah, I was taught when I was younger to go with the left foot.
Quando ero giovane mi avevano insegnato ad andare col piede sinistro.
But what happens when you go with the left foot, and it does not mean that you can't do this and do it right, but it doesn't make you as consistent. But if you go with the left foot, you're here, and again, if the ball takes a bad hop, you're tight in here. You don't have a lot of room to give.
Non è detto che è completamente sbagliato, però se arriva la palla può colpire il gomito e comunque la posizione non è agevole come l'altra.
And then if you catch it, it's here, funnel, 1, 2, and you're going to take extra steps to be able to have to get the
Si
ball.
perde tempo perché dobbiamo fare altri passi per mettersi in posizione corretta.
So take to drill to get your guys to be able to do this correctly. Just roll balls and have them come out and just stop it with their foot.
Questo è un esercizio da far fare ai ragazzi, tirare la palla rotolante e fargli mettere il piede destro sulla traiettoria della palla.
There he is, Alex again, taking the right foot to the ball, excellent position.
Una buona posizione di Alex, col piede destro in avanti.
Big guy, Prince Fielder, same thing. Look at his head, look where the ball is in relation to his right foot.
Stessa cosa.
There, Jeter again, I think he's good.
Jeter.
Renneria, he's his shortstop, and you see where he's playing, and his momentum's already going to first base. His feet and his shoulders are already in line with first base.
Come potete notare, i piedi e le spalle sono già in linea con la prima base.
Okay. Extended backhand. Plays that where you're going and you have to go, no matter what. The most important thing that we can do is when we catch the baseball, is make sure we get the ball to the midpoint of our body.
Allora, quando è esteso, il backhand è esteso, dobbiamo essere sicuri che prendiamo la palla con
Guanto rovesciato.
Sì, col piede sinistro avanti.
Okay, and try to establish a base to throw from. Because a lot of times you make this great play, and then all of a sudden you throw the ball away. Just try to get here, try to get the feet back down, get your feet stabilized, so you can make a strong throw to first base.
La cosa importante è cercare di trovare l'equilibrio e una buona posizione per tirare dove vogliamo tirare.
And there it is. I mean, that's going to be a hard play. If he catches the ball, it's going to be a hard play. It's just that's just going to
È
happen.
abbastanza difficile, però si fa.
Same thing there.
Si fa.
Okay, forehand. We can go through this. We just talked about this. It's the same thing.
Abbiamo già parlato della presa sinistra.
You want to be wide. You want to keep your nose in the glove, and you want to get the ball in the middle when you catch.
Sempre le stesse cose importanti.
Poi the position.
Oh, here we go. Just like this.
Sempre guardare la palla e il guanto avanti, come i fondamentali che dicevamo prima.
And here's some examples.
Esempi.
Alex again. Chase Utley, look at his nose. Look where he
Guardate
is.
il naso, il piede,
Right there, good position.
buona posizione.
One more for scale, pretty good fielder.
Abbastanza.
Okay. Funnel. We talked about getting started. Funnel is the next biggest thing that we can do here. The next most important thing that we can do.
La cosa più importante dopo la preparazione è l'imbuto.
Everywhere I go, like I was the infield instructor, wherever I've been, if I walk down the street today and I see a couple of my old players, the first thing they're going to say to me is funnel, funnel. Hey, you funneling? Hey, you funnel.
La cosa che gli dicono gli ex giocatori che lui ha allenato è quando lo vedono gli dicono funnel, cioè imbuto.
So that's how important I think this is.
E questo è indicativo di quanto importante è per me.
So what I mean by funnel is to get every ground ball that we catch, whether it's correctly, routine, we catch it correctly or not correctly, we need to get that ball to the center of our body because we need to get our hands in the proper position to throw the baseball.
Quindi qualsiasi palla arrivi di routine, l'obiettivo, il nostro obiettivo importante è far arrivare la palla all'ombelico.
So what getting the ball to the middle, no matter how you catch it, what that does for me, it ensures that your hands stay soft.
Le mani devono essere soffici e in qualsiasi posizione prendiamo la palla poi deve tornare qua.
And it'll get you to the proper throwing. It'll get you to the proper throwing position every time, which is to the middle and separating your hands in the middle with your thumbs down.
E questo ci porta alla posizione corretta per separazione delle mani e tiro.
Go ahead. The funnel leads directly into the throwing. And if you remember when we started, we talked about how he's from New Orleans. How important it is to throw the ball correctly. So when we throw and we separate our hands in the middle, what this ensures us to do, it ensures that our shoulders are going to stay locked into our target every single time. Again, with young, I'm sorry.
No, la cosa importante appunto è che ci porta poi a fare un buon tiro è la posizione giusta delle mani e delle dita.
The biggest problem we have with young guys, and I see it in professional baseball, is guys that catch the ball really well and they bring the ball up over their right shoulder.
Il problema che abbiamo è per alcuni giocatori che prendono la palla e la portano alla spalla.
So if I'm throwing the baseball over there and I keep my hands in the middle, I'm locked in my target, I can get my feet going in the direction, and I'm locked on, I am absolutely locked on him every single time.
Se io tengo la posizione centrale del guanto, io sono direzionato automaticamente verso il mio obiettivo.
The minute I take my hands and I bring them back over here, my shoulders are locked off. I'm going to have to come out of it, which means they're going to open up and be in that direction when I throw, and that's going to put my thumb on the side of the ball and my fingers on the side of the ball.
L'errore che ci procura portare il guanto in alto verso la spalla è che l'altra spalla non è più direzionata verso il nostro obiettivo, quindi facciamo un doppio spostamento verso destra e poi di nuovo verso sinistra per tirare verso il nostro obiettivo. E le nostre dita sono sbagliate rispetto al tiro.
And then by separating our hands with our thumbs down and being conscious of our thumbs down, that puts us in the absolute strongest position that we can be in. And now when we come to the throw, our thumb is going to be underneath the baseball and our fingers are going to be behind the baseball, and it's going to keep our throw very straight and very true.
Inoltre quando separiamo le dita, sei in mezzo e il pollice è in basso, quindi porta automaticamente le due dita centrali ad essere sopra la palla e quindi fare tirare correttamente.
And you just think about thumbs down, that's your strongest position you can possibly be in. If you're going to throw a punch, try throwing a punch with your thumb up. You're not going to hit anybody. You're going to make sure that you're here, boom, that thumb is down, and you're strong and you're going to stick that punch.
Il pollice in basso è la posizione più forte in assoluto che possiamo ottenere per la nostra mano. Anche se tiriamo un pugno, il pollice deve essere basso per essere potente, se sopra non ha la stessa potenza, lo stesso per il fuori.
Same thing with the football. I just want to see thumbs down, look at the shoulders, locked into his, squared onto his target.
Teniamo le spalle direzionate correttamente e il pollice in basso.
Strong.
Lo stesso qui.
Thumb down. Same thing, so that was good.
Posizione forte del pugno.
Thumb down. Now look at this thing right here. Separated in the middle, shoulders are locked on his target, thumbs underneath the ball, fingers are behind.
Stessa cosa che abbiamo detto prima, separazione, la spalla direzionata giusta e il pollice in basso.
Same thing right there.
Anche qui.
Softball, doesn't matter. She separates in the middle, everything's locked on her target.
Stessa cosa.
Now, it doesn't matter what angle you throw at. It doesn't matter if you have to come in. If you look at him, now he's going to throw from underneath here, but he's separating his hands in the middle. So what do we have? We have him, even though he's off balance and he's sort of first base, his shoulders are already locked on his target. They're not going to be swaying like this. They're going to be directly locked on. And then when he goes to separate his hands, even though he's throwing from sidearm, the ball's going to be underneath his elbow. And when he comes out of it, his thumb is going to be underneath and his fingers are going to be behind the ball, which is going to create a nice and strong and true throw.
Sì, non importa la posizione da cui partiamo, anche se è fuori equilibrio, comunque si separa la palla, separano le mani centrali, così abbiamo la posizione corretta delle spalle e delle dita.
Same thing on the run, look where his shoulders are, look at his hands on the baseball.
Vediamo le mani sulla palla.
Thumb underneath, fingers behind.
Le dita.
Same thing. Okay, next thing is footwork. We talk about throwing. The footwork's important. Again,
Il lavoro dei piedi è molto importante. No?
less steps, less movement creates less chance for error.
Meno movimenti crea meno occasione di sbagliare, di errore.
So for a right-handed fielder, we want to create the footwork of right foot to left foot, left foot to target.
Quindi per un giocatore destro vogliamo creare questo lavoro di piede destro che va sul sinistro e piede sinistro va sull'obiettivo.
And the two things we want to create by moving our feet correctly is we want to create distance and direction.
Quello che vogliamo fare è creare distanza e direzione.
So we want to maintain direction with our shoulders, while every time we step, we want to cut down the distance of our throw.
Quindi vogliamo mantenere la distanza corretta, sì, minore con la nostra spalla e con i piedi.
So what happens when you get guys that here catch the ball, they come here, and now they step either behind or step in front. When I step behind, if you watch my shoulder, how much distance did I cut down?
Se incrociamo i piedi o dietro davanti, se guardiamo la spalla, quanta distanza ho guadagnato?
So none. So I've actually taken one step, and I've done nothing to get myself closer to my
Quindi non
target.
ho fatto niente per avvicinarmi al mio obiettivo.
And the other thing I've done is when I step behind, I now throw my shoulder off, not in line with my target.
E allo stesso modo, comunque, facendo il passo incrociato, tolgo la direzione, tolgo la spalla dalla mia direzione.
So, and again, funnel, think about right to left to target every single time. And for left-handers, it's left to right to target.
Quindi per il mancino è l'opposto, comunque questi sono i passi.
You can go to the next one. Okay, the other thing is, if we do everything correctly, we're in a good wide fielding position, and we get the ball in the middle, and we replace our feet, let's get it over to first base as quickly as we possibly can.
Quindi il nostro obiettivo è di fare tutto il movimento a tirare in prima nel tempo minore possibile.
If for some reason they catch the ball and they have to catch it where their feet aren't in good position, then it's time to just get the ball in the middle, then take those extra steps to go to first base. So if you don't catch the ball in good position, make sure you get it to the middle, but then get your feet going to your target.
Anche se non prendiamo la palla in una buona posizione, l'importante è il prima possibile direzionarci bene verso l'obiettivo.
Again, separate hands in the middle of your body.
Quindi separiamo
Keep
le
to a good
mani.
position. How many times do you tell guys, hey, shorten your arm up, shorten your arm up?
Tante volte diciamo
I heard that.
accorciamo le braccia.
Yeah, I heard that all the time when I was little and I didn't know what that means. What does that mean? Throw the ball like this? You shorten it up?
Non sapevo quando ero giovane cosa voleva dire, accorciare così, non sapevo cosa voleva dire.
Just by separating your hands in the middle, that's going to keep your arm short in a good position to throw every single time.
E quello vuol dire separare le mani nella buona posizione e quindi tirare in buona posizione.
Every ball that our players throw, whether it's playing catch, whether it's when they're taking ground balls in practice, we have an obligation to make sure that these guys throw the ball correctly.
Ogni palla che noi tiriamo, come allenatore, dobbiamo essere sicuri che la prendono in modo corretto, con le spalle allineate e i piedi distanziati correttamente.
Baseball is a game of catch. It really is. When you think about it, I've talked a lot about a lot of different things, but when it comes down to it, you get ready, you catch the ball, bring it to the middle of your body, and get going in the direction of your target. If you can do that, you're going to be successful.
Sì, in realtà è abbastanza semplice il gioco del baseball, l'importante è prendere la palla e questi sono gli step corretti per fare un buon lavoro.
Follow the baseball just to ensure if you want to throw the ball hard, if you want to get a little bit extra step on the throw, it's really important. The only thing you really need to do is just follow all the same steps that we just did, that we just talked about, but then when you let go of it, just go ahead and just follow in the direction of your throw.
L'importante è il follow up, cioè seguire la palla dove l'ho appena tirata.
So like if we try to throw a ball hard sometimes, and we start lining up back here and our shoulders get out of whack, and then we come back here, we try to throw it with our thumb to the side and our finger to the side, we get nothing on the throw and it's probably going to go offline.
E quindi quando la tiriamo in modo scorretto,
Yeah, when you want to get, just bottom line, when you want to get extra on the throw, same fundamentals, throw it and just follow in the direction and you'll get
quando
extra
vogliamo
carry.
anche correggere una posizione che inizia sbagliata, ricordiamoci questi fondamentali e riusciamo a tirare in modo corretto e seguire la palla.
Again, this is it creates momentum. You make sure your throws have carry and accuracy, and ensures that your mechanics are correct.
Quindi assicurarsi che la meccanica del tiro sia corretta, creare questo momento.
Okay. Any questions on that? I know that's kind of a lot. It was kind of, I don't think it was really technical, but it's kind of a lot to follow. It's a lot easier than what we just probably talked about.
Sì, c'è tanto materiale, però